Welcome on into the Big Play Golf Show. I'm your host, Big Play Dave, alongside Joe Meglen, and we got a sub in. He's probably just about as good at golfing as Jimmy Hanlon, scratch golfer, ah, Mr. Reflog himself, Chris McNeil. What's up, buddy?
Maybe back in high school, Dave, not anymore. Although I have been practicing a lot more. My son's gotten into the game, so I've started to bring that handicap a little bit down, but I'm not quite down. I was a legit four in high school. I'm not quite back there. I got a lesson a year ago from Joe. He helped me out a little bit there, but he saw there's definitely some opportunities with what I'm doing out there on the golf course right now. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Mostly just clubs. You've been playing with the same clubs for
Ping
30
eye twos,
years.
man. Those are classics.
Oh my
Come on.
God.
Illegal grooves.
Dude,
Illegal
nobody's even
grooves.
got like a
Square groove.
5-year-old phone anymore, let alone 10-year-old golf clubs. And yours are 30 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Mid 90s, my friend. Those are just relics. They won state back in 97. If they're good enough to win state, they're good enough today.
Hang them on a wall, man. Hang them on a wall. All right, we got a good show for you guys. We are going to run through our golf headlines, get it into our power rank of the week, our swing of the week, our FanDuel bets of the week, and call it a show. But let's go with headlines. Brought to you by our friends at Great Lakes Golf Excursions. Quick word from them. If you listen, Chris, I know you've been here, Joe. If you ever planned a golf trip with your buddies, you know it's a pain. Coordinating all the lodging, the timing, the tee times, it's all a headache. That is where they come in. Father-son duo, Bill and Josh, handles all the details. You just show up and play. So you want to go to Ohio, Northern Michigan, West Virginia, get out there with your buddies. They will give you a custom trip, all pre-built, ready to roll. If you have no idea what you want to do, pre-built packages ready to go as well. So next time you are thinking about a golf trip, hit up Great Lakes Golf Excursions. Let them do the planning. You just focus on the golf. So we had kind of a weird PGA Tour tournament last week. So we had the Truist, and then we had Myrtle Beach Classic. I don't love when there's two going on. Joe, why do they even do this?
Just the opposite field event because the signature tournament, there's just a lot of exempt players who can't get in. So there's a couple times a week or a couple times a year where they have an opposite field event, basically is what it's called. I mean, the Classic for years, I don't even know what it's called anymore, but opposite the Open Championship used to be this tournament that no one watched called the BC Open, like out in the middle of nowhere where I don't even remember what golf course it was at. So it just happens a few times. I'm really surprised it happened opposite a signature event. But I had a buddy who had a player qualify to go there, and he was sending me pictures from the Myrtle Beach tournament. Yeah.
Where is it at Myrtle Beach?
Dunes Golf and Beach Club down there, and I don't know much about that course.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with that facility. It's hard enough to follow one tournament each week with my schedule, let alone two. So like
that's what I'm saying. Like for the average golfer that's not Joe Meglen, like me and Chris, I'm not gonna go try to find where one of these is playing. Like, give me simple. Makes it so much easier.
We might find that in the future they do more like this because the new CEO of the PGA wants to have more signature tournaments. So, you start putting 16, 20 signature events a year on the tour, you're going to have like more opposite field events. And I think it's more opportunities for players. And, there's still sponsors. It's not as much to sponsor the Myrtle Beach Classic as it is to sponsor the Truist. I think signature events are costing sponsors $15 to $20 million to get their name on it versus this other event. And if you look at the purse, it's way lower too. I mean, what's his name? Ryder, is that his name? Ryder won $3.5 million for Truist. He's actually got an interesting story. He's one of the guys. So
what's his first name? Christopher?
Yeah, he's European.
Yeah.
And he's one of the guys who qualified through the new affiliate program, kind of, I guess you could call it, where the top 10 in the DP World Tour now get full exempt status on the PGA Tour. That's new within the last couple of years. So it used to be back in the day, if you went through Q school, that's how you would get on the PGA Tour, right? That was your route to the PGA Tour or sponsors exemptions. Now it's mainly through the DP World Tour and then the Korn Ferry Tour. So top 10 on the DP World Tour and then the top, I think 20 on the Korn Ferry Tour get full exempt status on the PGA Tour. And then he had to I was trying to keep track of it. He wasn't exempt for this event until a couple of weeks ago. But he had like a really weird route to get into this tournament. He got in late at Cadillac and because Jake Knapp withdrew, so he got into Cadillac late, which was last week, and then somehow just eked away into this one. So he's one of the last guys into the field and ended up winning the tournament. So that's always a cool story.
So just by way of history here, Joe, when you're going back, did these signature events start to really gain steam because of the live, and then you have the opposite field events as a result of that? Was that kind of the history there?
No, they've had some opposite field events prior. Like I said, they used to have one for years opposite the Open Championship.
Right.
And then it's hard for me to remember like that far back. But there's usually 3 or 4. Like
we need Jimmy on there.
Yeah, right. Puerto Rico was always like an opposite field event. They're not new because of like live and all of that stuff. The signature events are a response to live, right? Like,
yeah,
if they didn't start paying those guys $20 million purses, a handful more would have left, and obviously would have been a good move on the front end, but now a bad move on the back end as live is kind of collapsing in front of us. So,
yeah, well, we've got a pretty good tournament coming up, although it has its flaws. The PGA Championship week is right now, and I feel like there's not ever a ton of buzz for this like there is the Masters. You know, I don't even know if I'd put it top 5. What's the issue with? Yeah, I don't know. Joe, do you have this in the top 5?
I mean, you put the Players 4. Is that what you would say?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a major. It's still looked at as a major. The Players still look at it as a major, but in terms of the majors, it is definitely the least prestigious, and they've had some identity issues the past few years. It's really hurt them, I think, to go to May, where they used to be in August. So they used to always call it like Glory's last shot. It was your last chance to win a major. So that's what kind of ended the season, right? Even though the Tour Championship was after, it was like PGA is in August, and there were some great PGAs in August.
Which is like a very cool storyline.
Yeah. And now it's just kind of sandwiched in between the Masters and the US Open in kind of an awkward spot. And they've lost some opportunities to play some certain golf courses. And a lot of people have called this one like the US Open light. It's just not as hard, easier golf courses, more birdies basically.
Yeah. So it's at Aronimink. Reflug, have you ever played there? Joe, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but if we had Reflug on during Heritage Week, he could talk about his hole-in-one at Harbortown.
I did do that. That was back in high school. Actually, it was in college. That was a fraternity trip.
And we don't have to ask you what clubs it was with because you played the same clubs for the last 30 years.
Ping right? I2's green dot,
right.
Baby.
If you ask me, I'd have to think about, like, I made a hole-in-one a couple years ago with a 5-iron. I don't remember what 5-iron it was because I've had so many different sets since then. But any shot you've hit over the last 30 years, it was a set of Ping I2s.
Joe, consistency. That's what I go for in my game.
Yeah. I hold one today to finish the day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You had a hole-in-one today?
No. I hold one, not a hole-in-one. I hold it from the fairway from 160, or actually the rough. I was in the rough all day. I finished with a 2 on one of the hardest holes on the golf course. Got a skin and got me into the top 10.
Where were you?
A place called Westbrook, also Donald Ross. So Aronimink, Donald Ross, Westbrook Country Club in Mansfield, Ohio, has had a couple of like little tweaks to it, including like one of the coolest 19 holes I've ever been to. Sat up there and watched a couple guys finish to see if I held my spot. When I came in, I was in second. I think I ended up like 5th for the day. So not a bad showing for me.
Heck 160 yards out, you hold it?
Yeah. I thought it went over the green. I was literally looking over the green and we saw a golf ball back there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh crap, just my luck. It was like way long. And then we were playing with a woman today and she chipped it up right next to the hole. I'm like, well, if it's in the hole, she would have seen it. So this has to be my ball. And I go back, there was a range ball. I'm like, that's not me. And then they're like, the one kid I was playing with, he's 25. He's like, you made it. It's in. And I made it. I finished on it too. So
anticlimactic. That's cool.
Celebratory garage beer for my 2.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. Not as impressive as my hole-in-one at Meadowood from 112 yards, but still very impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, Joe, what do we know about this course?
So it hosted the BMW Championship last in 2018. It's the last big event that it hosted. It's hosted a major, but not for years, like way before any of our times. 1960 something is when it hosted its last major. They went through a renovation by Mr. Gil Hans, if anyone's familiar with him. So he's kind of been like the guy to do golf courses. He recently did the Country Club in Cleveland here. And then next year, we're going to actually see a hit golf course that he himself designed in the PGA at Frisco when they go there in 2027. They added about 100 bunkers to this place back in like, I think 2016, 2017, when they redid it, getting ready for the BMW championship. And now they've probably done some other renovations to it. It's an old school Donald Ross golf course. Gil's really good at like going back. They used aerial footage from the 30s, I think, to like look at how it was originally designed. And over time, they make little changes to golf courses. Before you know it, it loses its original footprint. So they've kind of gone back to that.
Yeah, it sounded like with a lot of those bunkers, they were originally these individual bunkers, and then over time became just large bunkers. And he went back to kind of that shotgun bunker kind of array for a lot of these holes and added all of those bunkers, and as well as some of those, I guess, just off the tee. So I guess some of the members who like to roll a ball or two every once in a while off the tee, you'll get caught up in those bunkers, but it also adds to the visuals. Donald Ross, of course, is one of those classics where he wants to fool the golfer a little bit of how far back the pin is and what that is, and it kind of plays with the golfer's visuals there. And I think adding some of these bunkers back in adds some of those elements that you originally had in the design.
We'll see how firm it plays, because that's going to be a big factor in this week. And obviously the PGA doesn't quite go for US Open like as hard as they can get a golf course. Plus we're playing Philadelphia in May. I don't know what it's like there. Course today was sloppy, tons of mud balls today as I was playing. So we'll see. They're supposed to get some rain early in the week, which could soften conditions, because I do know that some of the redesign has made it so the ball kind of careens back into some of these bunkers and off the green, with some shaved areas around the green and things like that. So we'll see. It's how soft this place plays will play a big role in how it scores for sure.
It's also a little bit shorter from some of the other courses that they play in the PGA. I know it's a par 70, but it looks like it's going to play to like 72. So it's going to be interesting to see what the longer hitters, they keep it in the fairway. You're going to have some short shots into the green.
You'll have some super thick rough, right? Because again, early spring rough, super thick. We'll see how much they may or may not cut it down leading into the week. But that's, again, going to be the key. If it's supposedly, I heard that the greens are pretty firm and fast right now. It's playing how they want it to, but a little bit of rain can soften a golf course pretty quickly. And if you're in like 4 or 5 inch, like look at the US Open at Oakmont, right? That really deep rough, especially as it got wet, then it was even harder to get out of, and it didn't really matter. Those greens were so firm and fast, those guys couldn't keep it around the hole. And that's what you could potentially see this week, is if you're in the rough, you're just not going to be able to take the line that you would want to take into the green because of how they're sloped and where the bunkers are set.
Now, conversely, if it is soft and you can keep it in the fairway, we can see some low scores.
Right.
Yeah. If they cut that rough down, we'll see. We'll get into more of that during our FanDuel bets of the week. But let's move on. It is power rank time. Gentlemen, I'm taking over for Jimmy Hanlon for this one. Power rank is brought to you by Mobile Fairways. They just launched in the area. Chris, I don't know, you're new to the podcast, so I don't know if you've seen this. We saw them at the golf show. They bring a fully enclosed golf simulator right to your event. Takes 25 minutes to set up. You could have it in your backyard, wherever you want, whether you're hosting a corporate outing, private party, wedding, fundraiser. Mobile Fairways handles everything. They will work with really any skill level, and they'll travel anywhere in the region. Rates start at $125 an hour, 3-hour minimum. Mobile Fairways, golf anytime, anywhere, any occasion. Check them out at mobilefairways.com. Very cool concept. So
you guys got some great sponsors. I'm going to check out both of these, both the trip and then also getting those guys in there. We've got some events that I've already got top of mind. So that sounds fantastic.
Yep. So power rank, gentlemen, we don't let you know what these are, but it is, Jimmy has sent it over to me. It is top 8 toughest PGA Championship courses.
Are we going based off of the course rating of the golf course, or are we going off of like the PGA final round score, like final total score?
Well, in true Jimmy fashion, all he told me was toughest PGA Championship courses ranked by difficulty. So I would say the former.
Course rating and slope. So I'm going to take a stab at number 1 here. I was listening about this one today.
I would know this one. I have the list, so I can't guess, but this is one that I know is very tough.
So just for the newbie on the show, so has he already ranked these, and then we're guessing where they are, or are we putting together the rankings?
Yeah.
So Yeah, you and Joe are going to put together these rankings and try to
Okay.
guess them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh,
So
great. Okay.
I'm gonna go with the ocean course at Kiawah Island. Is number
Very nice. I need a soundboard to give you a round of applause. That is
Yeah.
correct.
I mean, that place, I played there on a non-windy day, but if the wind blows there, and I think like if you're going off difficulty, the course rating out there might be like 78 or 70, 79.
When did you play that?
2024, I think I was out there. That's one of the first times I've played a golf course that's actually we're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Remember who won there a couple years ago?
No.
This is a good one. Oldest major winner ever. Let's see if that helps.
VJ Singh.
No, that's not even close. Phil Mickelson.
Wait, how long ago?
Oh, that
Phil
was
Mickelson.
Phil. Okay.
2021 or 2022. He won out there. 51 years old, won a major, oldest major winner, and then he left to go to live.
And the rest
Number
is history.
two, I might know as well.
Chris, you want to take a stab at it? I'll give you a clue.
What's the clue? Now, I'm not like Joe here, where I'm like, well, I played that course.
No,
so.
but you're gonna know this one. There was an event this year, and it was the Americans versus others.
Oh, really? I didn't think that was going to be two.
Yeah.
This is two?
And it wasn't this year. It was actually last September what that event was.
Was that
Well,
Beth
whatever.
Page Black?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that
Wow.
one is tough.
Yeah. They made
Brooksy,
it
Brooks Koepka won in 2019, I think, out there, right?
Joe, is that mostly because of the rough?
I mean, it's part of it. Green's really small out there too, and I'm sure like they played it in September and they had them kind of slow and soft. That was a miscommunication on the American team, I believe.
I remember we talked about that.
If you play in like tournament conditions when they want them, like because they wanted a lot of birdies, and that could have been who knows who was deciding that. But if you play it firm and fast, I think it's really hard. I mean, I don't know exactly how they do course ratings, but a lot of it has to do with like difficulty off the tee. But yeah, long, thick, rough, right? It's got the moniker of like, hey, this is only for like the truest golfers or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a skier, I appreciate the warning signs, and they got a warning sign that says "extremely difficult course" out there. So
right on the
that
first
tells
tee.
you something.
So this is what I was going to guess for two. I'm going to go with it for three. Whistling Straits.
Number 4.
Wow.
Okay.
Number 4.
Whistling Straits. So PGA golf course.
A good old boy from well, by way of Ohio, Jason Day won out there at Whistling Straits in 2000.
Duel against Jordan
He married a
Spieth.
girl from Dublin.
That's where him and Jordan Spieth went at it a few years ago.
Yeah.
Number 4, huh?
Joe, here's a clue. Narrow fairways and punishing rough create one of the hardest ball striking tests in major golf.
Oak Hill?
Yeah.
Wow. How did you get that from that clue? That was like, that could be any course.
No, I mean, like they just recently played there, I believe, Oak Hill or Oakland Hills. Oakland
Number
Hills
3
is on there too, I would guess. Oakland Hills.
No.
Detroit.
Nope.
I mean, because I was
Oak Hill. Yeah, the Cleveland boy that won out there, Jason Duffner, 2013.
The Duffner. Yes.
Yeah, how about that?
yeah,
Huh?
there you go.
There's all kinds of Ohio connections.
We've been to a Browns game with the Duffner.
There you go.
Is Firestone South on that list?
It is not. We will be down there. Joe, are you going to play at the College Company Championship with us right before?
I mean, if you guys give me more than like 36 hours notice like you did last year,
We'll text you on the way.
Text message like, hey, you guys, can you make it Thursday? I'm like, no, I can't cancel on all my stuff. If you let me know the day, I can be there for sure.
Nice.
Would it be what's that place in Washington? Sahali? Is that on there?
No.
How about
I would hate to
Baltusrol?
say-
What was that, Chris?
Baltusrol.
Yes. Number
Another
7.
Phil Mickelson.
Number
So
7.
what about Baltusrol? Yeah, Mickelson won there. Nicholas
Back in 2005, a long time ago, way back in the day, before we even
Nicholas
knew what
won a-
Live was.
Nicholas won a U.S. Open, I think, in 1980 there.
Here's a clue. There is one of these country clubs in Ohio, but is not that course.
The Country Club?
No.
Oh,
It's not that course.
It's a city name, but it is not
Medina.
the city. Yes.
Oh,
Medina
Also in
Country Club.
Illinois. Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one. Medina's a good track. How many do we have so far?
That's number 6. You are missing 2. You're missing number 5 and number 8. I'll give you a
How about
clue
let's-
for number 5.
let's stay not too far away down in Kentucky.
Oh,
Valhalla.
Valhalla, number 8.
Yeah, they tried to tiger proof it back in 2000.
They'll never go back there again. They embarrassed that golf course, I think 2 years ago. Meaning like the guy's just
Yeah,
it
I
was just
forgot
too
about that.
it's a little, it's not dated, but it is at the same time, right? Like it's a really good golf. I've played there too. It's a really good track. And it's got some iconic holes. It's got a great finishing par five, but like certain golf courses now, just those guys just rip apart. So we're missing 5, huh?
So Joe Meglen would throw a club at this one. Here's the clue. Elevation changes, slick greens, and strategic shot requirements make it mentally exhausting.
Oof.
Do you know state? If you give me state, I could probably get it.
I will give you a clue.
Well,
It is Blank Hills Country Club.
yeah, I said Oakland Hills.
Nope.
Southern Hills.
Southern Hills.
Oh yeah.
Southern Hills in Oklahoma.
Southern Hills. If you want to see Southern Hills, you can watch, I think the first season of, I believe the first season of Full Swing is when they play at Southern Hills. That's where
Yeah.
Mito Pereira makes a double on the 18th to lose the tournament. And Justin Thomas wasn't even in contention going into the last day and ended up winning that one. I'm pretty sure that was, I want to say 21, and then they aired Full Swing in 22. And then very shortly after, Mito Pereira gave up on his PGA Tour golfing career. And then I think he got relegated out of Live too. So I think Mito Pereira is no longer playing.
That's a rough go getting out of Live. That's rough.
Got a paycheck on the front end though.
Yeah, there you go. Who cares then? All right, PGA. Let's get back to PGA. Look at our FanDuel bets of the week. All right, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's right, turn $5 into $250 in bonus bets just for getting started. And when every possession matters in the playoffs, FanDuel makes it easy to get closer to the action. From player props on your favorite stars to all the tools you need to back them up, FanDuel puts player research right at your fingertips so you can check stats, trends, matchups all in one place and make your picks with confidence. It's everything you need all in one app, so do not miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/BigPlay to get started. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 and present in select states. Minimum 2-leg parlay required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable bonus boost builder token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. This is a paid endorsement. Obviously presented by FanDuel.
I think it's going to be hard to pick a winner besides the kind of top 3 who've kind of been dominating golf the last year, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, we look at this, you know, whatever, you take it for what it is, but Scheffler blew everyone out last year by 5 strokes. He was 11 under. No one else was even close. -6. I believe it was, I think Bryson was -6 last year. I would expect this to be a little bit closer. Do we bet on Scotty going back to back? Do you bet on Jordan Spieth finally getting his career Grand Slam?
Okay.
Joe does not like that at all.
No.
He doesn't like positive storylines. Why? Just because he's playing so bad?
I mean, he hasn't shown any form in the last year, right? He just keeps, he's got a couple of little things here and there, but I mean, he's just been struggling as of late. It'd be a great, like, positive story for someone like back-to-back major winners to complete their Grand Slam. But I mean, if you look at the last 5 majors, there's only been really 2 names, right? JJ Spawn, and I think Scotty was in contention at the U.S. Open last year at Oakmont, if I remember correctly. And it's literally been a Rory and Scotty show, right? And Scotty won back to back. So I mean, Scott, and I can't remember who, I think Scotty won the Masters in 24, right? So you got Scotty in 24, winning two majors, then he won 2 majors in 25. Then Rory won the Masters and the Masters. So literally, I think it's between Scotty and Rory at this point, right? Like, and again, if you're looking for a good bet, you know,
I mean, those are by far the 2 overwhelming favorites for this.
And then you've got Cam Young. I mean, he doesn't really have a monkey on his back, but
how about a 4-putt?
You're right.
Did you see that? He 4-putted from like 3 feet away.
Oh yeah.
It was
Which
incredible.
is kind of ironic because he's kind of worked on that putting and he's figured that out a little bit. And that's the part of the reason that he started to win a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I think a good like sleeper, and he's not really a sleeper. I think he's like number 5 in the world, might be Ludwig Aberg.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's kind of the guy who's been put in front of us a lot that says, hey, this is one of the best players in the world. He hasn't really performed well in majors, so he's got something to prove. And obviously these
He's
live
young.
guys, yeah, these live guys coming back, they're now trying to solidify themselves as like, okay, we deserve to be here. So you could see one of them, Rom or Bryson potentially, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to get another head shake, but Justin Thomas, he's won this twice. Any chance he can finally put it together here?
Like
He's 4,500.
coming off of a back injury, and I want to say, if I'm remembering correctly, he won the BMW here in 18 at Aronimik.
Oh, did he?
I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, Chris, who do you like in this?
Well, I'm kind of with you guys on the top three: Scheffler, McIlroy, and Cam Young. I like those three. Shea Batia was one that I had for the Masters, and then he faded.
Yeah.
I'd like him. He's a really young guy, so I think he's going to win at some point.
I feel like Jimmy's been betting Minwoo Lee for like 4 weeks and just keeps striking out.
Yeah.
4,500.
Matt Fitzpatrick, another one,
I
three-time
mean,
winner.
I'd have to go look at it to see, but if you're listening and you're looking for a good pick, what you're looking for is a good ball striker, right? So find a guy, go on the PGAtour.com and you find a
Dude,
guy.
how about Morikawa? Great
Yeah, like
ball striker.
Yeah, Morikawa, but like putter gives him
Can't chip or
times,
putt.
right? Well, the chipping yips at
Yeah.
and won a tournament, so that's not going to be good at a place like this. But like just a straight out ball striker who he thinks he's going to get hot with the putter. But I mean that's literally Scotty, Rory, and
Right.
Cam Young, right? Those are your three guys right there. They're just ball striking machines right now.
All right, so let's do what we did last week. We each pick someone for the top 5, not named Scotty or Rory.
Okay, I like that.
And Cam Young, I'm not going with. I'll go John Rahm.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I think he's been out of the headlines outside of joining the World Tour, which Joe, I think did you call that or Jimmy called that?
What's that?
Like Rahm going back to the World Tour.
I said I can't believe
he would do it, right?
You would be watching John Rahm playing on the DP World Tour,
and then the next day
he signed up. He signed up for the DP World Tour. I was like, okay,
yeah. So let's go, John Rahm, fresh off of his new signing on the World Tour. Who do you guys like?
Throw a name out there, Tommy Fleetwood. How about that?
I like him a lot. He's a guy who can get the monkey off his back, but he's only won once ever in the United States. Yeah. And it was a 30-person field. I pick him all the time. I just love. I pick guys who I want to watch their golf swing on Sunday because that's when I can watch it. I'm working all the other days, so I want to and this time I'm going to pick somebody who I don't like watching their golf swing. But this is a Gil Hanse redesign, and he played well at a golf course kind of in a similar setup, I think. And it's Bryson DeChambeau because Bryson won at Winged Foot, which was redesigned by Gil prior to the U.S. Open, and it was a U.S. Open that was later in the year. Conditions were a little softer, so kind of plays into how he won his first U.S. Open.
All right, $5 pays $775 if we hit it.
Yeah,
so John Rahm, Bryson, and Tommy Fleetwood.
All right,
if they're in the top 5.
I love it. Hey, I've got a question for you, Joe. Speaking of clubs, you've given me a hard time about my Ping I2s. Justin Rose.
Yeah, I saw
There's been him switching over clubs, and there's a lot of people saying he's playing well, but his clubs are holding them back. Can you explain that to the average viewer?
Well, so are his current clubs holding him back, or
so the story that I heard was
how could any current clubs be holding someone back?
That he was switching up to a different supplier.
He just went to the McLaren irons.
That's what it was, the McLaren irons.
I don't know what he was playing before, but he just went to the McLaren irons is what it is. So
yeah, and I've heard some speculation say that, those clubs are not going to ultimately, they're going to be his Achilles heel for whatever reason. And I didn't really understand. I don't know enough about those irons. I know that they're top-end irons, but I don't know much about them.
There's so many clubs out there, and if you're a PGA Tour player, the irons are going to fit you, right? And these guys are going to work with you, especially a guy like Justin Rose, who I think is number 3, 4, 5 in the world right now. So like they're going to get it down to the specs that he wants. Now, like he's a very particular guy too. So I do know that like changing could take some time to adjust to different parameters of the clubs, right? But these guys are fit. I mean, they're fit so much that when you go to a tour van and you pull out the drawer, they have different heads for different players, different grips for different players, different tees for different players. There's a story of like the TaylorMade guys having to cut up a bunch of tees for Tiger at one tournament because they were out of the tee height that he had. So they literally pulled out the long tees and like cut all the tees in half so that Tiger had the right length tee. So they're going to be fit. I think it's probably, I mean, it could be something, right? Like, but I don't think in today's game, like it's going to make that much of a difference for a player like Justin Rose, right? Maybe. Yeah. I could be wrong. I don't know what McLaren's making, but like, I mean, I went and got fit in Atlanta, and I've only played with the clubs. Literally, I was pulling plastic off the first time I played them, but besides a few squirrely tee shots on my part, like I think they're great. So,
all right, I'm hedging our bet as well. I'm doing those three. I'm just betting while you guys talk. John Rahm, Bryson, and Tommy Fleetwood, top 20.
Okay, that's really good. What's that pay?
5 pays 28.
All right.
That's pretty good.
There you
All
go.
right.
Hey, let me throw one more name. I don't think we've talked about Chris Gotterup.
Oh, yeah.
Winner, long hot putter, tied for 24th at the Masters. He's some people's hot pick right now. What are your thoughts on that one, Joe?
Gotterup, he played really well and obviously overseas last year. I don't know he won at Waste Management, and this golf course is just way different. Long rough, probably smaller greens, right? Like a more traditional Northeast golf course, like we see in Ohio, basically. I mean, when you look at golf courses in Ohio from above, like Firestone, the place I played today, the greens are just all pretty small green complexes. So he's winning in like different style of golf. But again, when you hit it long on the PGA Tour and you're keeping it in play, it's just such an advantage. That's Rory right now, right? Like Scotty hits it far enough, Rory hits it really far, and Gotterup hits it really far. So you're out there hitting it 330 and you got wedging all day. You can shoot some low scores.
All right, dudes, it is time for our swing of the week. Joe, tell the crew about Hitline Sports.
Yeah, brought to you by Hitline Sports. Hitline Sports is the one-stop destination for high-performance training, game time fun, and next-level recreation. Honestly, lots of fun going there. We went there and played in the batting cages, Jimmy, Dave, and I, and played some pickleball and had a great time. I think I was injured for a couple of days afterwards, but probably the most fun that I've had outside of golf in the last 10 years. They offer batting cages, pickleball courts.
You were all smiles, man.
Oh, dude, it was so much fun. The only place more fun than that right now is Disney. Batting cages, pickleball courts, golf simulators, turf fields, and they're perfect for anyone who is ready for serious training and just looking for a good time. Like I said, lots of fun there. Whatever you want to do, have your party there. I'm still contemplating having my birthday party there this year. Get a cake, maybe get a hat, right? Be a good time.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Look at that call out. Chris, when's the last time you took a 90-mile-an-hour heater with a baseball bat?
Oh, gosh. It's been a while. I went out with my son back a couple of years ago when he was playing ball and stepped into the batting cages, and it wasn't pretty, Dave. You saw me on the golf course at Firestone, and that was a little rough that day. This was much rougher in the batting cage. I look like Bo Naylor there at the end.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, we'll get you up to Hitline Sports. Yeah, check them out in Middleburg Heights. Place is awesome. It is our swing of the week. Let's pull it up. Who do we got
Scotty
here? Oh, it's the one we were talking about last week where he threw his club. Kind of accidentally.
Almost broke there in the follow through, right? I had one of those today, but it was more like intentional toss like that. His looks a little unintentional.
It was unintentional.
Yeah, I mean, like Scotty obviously
almost looked like he did that on purpose. Like the whole swing was like some kind of a.
He definitely let it go on purpose. It wasn't
right.
He didn't throw it, but
I mean, based off the start line, it looks like he's trying to. And the ball does have a big cut to it. Yeah. It looks like he was trying to hit a pretty hard cut. And like a couple things with modern golf swings, right? Like you've got these guys don't wear spikes anymore. I think you probably would have seen a lot of the players back in the day move around a little bit more like that. but they were wearing metal spikes. And Scotty's obviously got a lot of uniqueness to his swing. Don't recommend this follow through to anybody, right? If you're following through like this, you're probably hitting, 90-yard slices into someone's house. So I don't really recommend anybody make this type of golf swing. But for Scotty Scheffler to do it one time, looks like he found the ball. I don't know what he made on the hole, but yeah. I mean,
So what do you think of just his swing overall? Like, how unconventional it is as a instructor. Like, if someone comes in and they're shooting, say, like, I don't know, mid 80s, and they swing like this, are you changing it up, or what are you doing with this person?
depends on their goals, right? So if someone comes in mid 80s and they kind of have moved their feet around like this, I kind of look at them and ask them their goals and what they're looking to do. But again, I think it has to do with just how much force these guys are creating into the ground when they're pushing in the golf swing. And I think if even back into the 90s, if more guys weren't wearing metal spikes, you would probably see more guys moving around like this. Especially like you go back to like the Nicholas Palmer player era, like those guys when they follow through aren't like posing, right? That pose kind of happened later on, like the Faldo era and the Price era, where swings got not necessarily slower, but just were more about control. And then all of a sudden, Tiger came around. Tiger's front foot throughout most of his career pushed back, just not as much as Scotty's. And I think again, he doesn't have much, doesn't have much traction on his shoes, so he's going to move around a lot with that much force.
All right, that is all the time we have this week. Thanks for tuning in to the Big Play Golf Show. Go follow us on YouTube at Big Play Golf and follow us on X at Big Play Golf Show. And we will see you next week. Good luck with those bets.